This show is brought to you by Go Live TV. Download the app now.
Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese and Go Live TV in the offices of His Worship the Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua for a very special presentation today. Maurizio Bevilacqua, Mayor of Vaughan. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Joe. And we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to really celebrate a very important announcement. And it speaks to the spirit of generosity. As you know, this community has been waiting for a long time for a hospital to be built. But as everyone knows, when they drive on Major Mackenzie, they see this beautiful, beautiful structure coming from the ground, the very first smart technology hospital in the country. But none of this would be possible if this community did not express itself in a way that speaks to the spirit of generosity. And today we have yet another example of two individuals who are going to be making a very significant contribution to the foundation, to the hospital, that will help us reach the $250 million campaign that we're presently engaged in. Moments like this, as mayor of the city of Vaughan, really bring a lot of warmth to my heart because they speak to the values of people that I deem to be extremely important. And the spirit of generosity, compassion, understanding, nurturing of the human spirit is what city building is truly all about. There's no question about the fact that it's really a labor of love. And today, when I will tell you the stories of these two individuals, you will certainly understand that they do embody that which I think really represents the very best of what humanity has to offer. This is a story about a very interesting and beautiful couple who have come to the city of Vaughan and to our organization at the hospital to really express themselves in a very meaningful way. And when I think about Danny and Madeline Montesano, what I think about is really their journey. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend their 40th anniversary of their company, which has not only created opportunities and jobs for people, and it has an excellent reputation, but the fact that they understood quite clearly, and it is who they are as people, that ultimately what gives meaning to people's lives is their ability to be there for each other and to contribute the blessings. And so they are representative of that heart that a city needs. The spirit of generosity is what defines our community, and I'm so happy to have them both here in my office with so many close friends whose relationship they obviously cherish. It's great to see people here that I have known over 30 years, and some who are new to public life, but nevertheless making a wonderful, wonderful contribution. I want to ask Danny and Madeline to come up here. Okay, here we go. I've just been hired. And to say a few words about what this donation means to you personally. These are beautiful moments in a person's life because we need not remind people of all the sacrifices you have made over the years, the great contribution you have made, the incredible capacity that you have demonstrated throughout your life to give of yourself to something bigger than yourself. And you know, if I may be theologically correct at this point in time, St. Francis of Assisi used to always tell us that it is in the giving that we receive. And today, I'm very pleased, and I'm going to let you make the announcement, to tell people that are viewing us right now that this is a very meaningful contribution. And I know that Ingrid Perry will join me here now as well. She'll come up as well, doing a great job raising funds. And we are going to now hear from Danny and Madeline, and then we'll announce the amount that you will be donating to the hospital. So keep that right till the end.
Okay. Thank you, Mauricio. As I said before, it's a great pleasure to be here and to do this small donation to the Mackenzie Health Hospital, to our hospital, to our community. I want to thank you, Mauricio, to get us in your office, you and your staff. I want to thank you to the Honorable Judy Scroll, Honorable Davy Scholl, and Honorable Francesco Sorbara, Honorable Joe Volpe, and all my friends, Sam and Gemma, Rocco and Marie, Joe and Alida. So I didn't forget everybody. So and Sam was grown too. So all of you, I just want to thank you to come in here to share with me. And for us, it's a great joy to donate this little amount to our community. So thank you. And thank you again, Mauricio, to have us here in your office.
That's modesty at its very best. And so, Madeline.
I just want to say, Mauricio, I just want to say thank you to Ingrid and Lucy Anderson for the good job. You guys are doing a great job for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Madeline doesn't want to speak, but I'm going to ask a question that it's going to make it very easy for her to speak. Do you agree with what Danny said? Yes. Oh, no, she doesn't. Okay. I said, do you agree with what Danny said? And of course she did.
I agree with everything.
There she goes. So now we come to a point where we're going to be discussing, or at least announcing, the great contribution that you will be making to our hospital. The journey has been an interesting one. Ingrid, perhaps you want to talk a little bit about the significance of this event for us as well.
Absolutely. Danny and Madeline, and to all your friends, we're delighted to be here with the mayor here in the city of Vaughan on behalf of Mackenzie Health as we celebrate your donation to Mackenzie Vaughan Hospital. Your leadership is helping us launch and prepare to launch the public phase of a significant $250 million campaign. Every gift counts. Gifts, large, small, medium, whatever, are extraordinarily meaningful to us as we seek to bring a new hospital here to Vaughan. It's just 20 months now until we will open the doors of the new hospital that this community truly deserves, truly needs, and quite honestly is going to celebrate with us. So we are honored to be the beneficiary of your gifts and your generosity, as you set an example for all of us about the joy of giving and the generosity of spirit you bring to both Mackenzie Health and to the city of Vaughan. So thank you.
And now for the, is there a drum roll, Joe? There's a drum roll for the amount. I simply want to say, before you even announce the amount, I once again want to express my gratitude to you. As mayor of this city, but more importantly, as your friend, I really appreciate this great act of generosity to our hospital and to our city, and I know that you will inspire others to give, and that to me is extremely important. This campaign, I remember the day. I still remember the very first day where our total was 0.00. But by pulling together, by focusing on a common goal, by using our energies towards positive ends, we're achieving great things. So you're going to do this together. The spirit of generosity of Mr. and Mrs. Montesano are going to be announced right now. The amount is?
100,000.
100,000. $100,000. Thank you so much. That brings us a step closer to the amount that we need. But So let me give you a special invitation. It may happen even before December 2020. The hospital may open its doors. I obviously expect all of us to be there present, because it's going to be a great, great day for this city. It's a city that has been waiting for a long time. You all know that. But the day is here, and it's getting closer and closer, and today is yet another step in the right direction. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Mayor Mauricio Bevilacqua. Thank you for turning the microphone back to me. I kidded earlier on that if you put it in the hands of a politician, this thing's never going to go back to its original format. So we're going to have an interview with each and every one of the individuals here, or as many as would like to be interviewed. But I wanted to give a special thanks to Mauricio for making his offices available for this donation. One of the things that he did not say is that Madeline Montesano's signature is on that check, and that's the reason why she agreed with her husband. Everybody's going to join the mayor in a little bit of refreshments, thanks to a really old-time friend of Danny, and that's Sam Primucci. So, but we'll talk to them and to Gemma and to others in a few moments. We'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, so here we are once again for official photos in the mayor's office, and I'm going to identify all the individuals there for you. So right in the center, of course, is Mauricio Bevilacqua, his worship, the mayor of Vaughan. Right just below him, the guest of honor and contributor Madeline Montesano, and to her left, that's Danny Montesano. We'll interview the two of them in a moment. Just beside Danny is Gemma Primucci. On this side, over here beside Madeline, is Mary Grossi. And then I'm going to go this way. Sam's Grow, husband to Judy's Grow, the Honorable Judy's Grow, the Honorable Francisco Sorbara. Ingrid Perry, who is the chair of the president and CEO of the Mackenzie Health Foundation. Of course, Mauricio Bevilacqua, whom we've already mentioned, the Honorable Judy's Grow, then the Honorable Deb Schulte. By the way, for those of you who don't know, everybody who's a member of Parliament is an honorable. Once you cease to be a member of Parliament, you become a Mr. or a Miss. But if you are a former cabinet minister, you're always honorable. So there's one, there's the other. And Sam Primucci, who is honorable because he's been a longtime friend and co-inhabitant of Palazzo San Gervasio with Danny Montesano. Joe Dusin, who has been an old-time friend and neighbor of the Montesano, and Alida Dusin, and who also lives there close by, obviously, and Rocco Grossi. And I'm Joe Volpe, just saying thank you very much for your patience while we take this picture. And you've got it? Great. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Okay, so here we are now with the actual formal signing ceremony of the check. This is the one that makes it all legitimate. So we've got Mauricio Bevilacqua, the mayor, Madeline Montesano, the donor, Danny Montesano, who agreed with the donor, and Ingrid Perry, who's going to be the proud recipient of this money, but it's not made out to her, okay? It's made out to Mackenzie Health Foundation.
This is for the ATM machine.
Yeah. Madeline, go ahead. Danny, your turn. Bravi, way to go. Danny, why don't you pick it up and hand it to the mayor and to Ingrid? Now, we got to see it from the other side. Otherwise, the camera can't see through that. There you go.
Behind my, oh, okay.
There you go. All set. Perfect. Other people can get into that picture now. Yeah, no, it's still live. Okay, you better be smiling. I'm not going to edit it out. Okay. Thank you very much. This isn't a really, really big check. It's a heck of a lot more than I can afford, but it's $100,000. Is that a significant amount?
It is absolutely a significant donation to our campaign for Mackenzie Health. Each person, no matter what their level of giving, as long as they're giving and it's meaningful, and I know that Danny and Madeline are taking a great deal of joy in their generosity in support of the new hospital, and we take joy in their generosity. So it's making a huge difference to everybody here in this community.
So I guess the message is that it doesn't matter what you think the amount is relative to some of the other big amounts that I've heard. It's really significant.
It's an exceptionally significant gift to both the donors, but also to Mackenzie Health. It really doesn't matter to us how big a gift it is. These generous donors, the larger donors, are making great things possible, but so are Danny and Madeline. Their investment is making a huge difference to how people will be cared for here, right here in the region of York.
I know that Danny and Madeline are really humble individuals. They didn't want to make a real big deal of this, but they wanted to be a little bit of an inspiration for those smaller businesses and for regular citizens of Vaughan to say, listen, whether you want to make 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 donation, they're all the same. They all go towards the ultimate objective of building that center, that hospital, and that service.
Every donation, and that Danny and Madeline have chosen to share their generosity with the community is really important because it does inspire others. Every gift is important for us realizing the dream of having Mackenzie Vaughan Hospital open. December 2020 is not that far away, and each donation gets us one step closer to having a wonderfully equipped, smart hospital right here in the center of Vaughan.
This is an unfair question for me, because I didn't prep you for it. But do you have an idea of the numbers of donors that have already contributed?
I was looking at a list the other day, and we have well over 2,000 people and companies that have made gifts through a wide variety of activities. Some are giving personally of their own wealth, or they have organized events and activities. So I met with a group this morning that are having a walkathon at one of the local malls in support of our cancer program. And that will have, children from the public school system, children from the separate school system, and churches and organizations. So you have hundreds and thousands of people who are getting involved, and we would really welcome more to come forward and help us.
Now, this is going to be a unique hospital, as the mayor says, in that it's going to be connected via internet and everything else. And I immediately assumed, and again, if I'm being unfair, tell me, I assumed that this means that it's going to be interconnected with all of the famous research centers in Southern Ontario and the ones that specialize in special diseases or particular diseases as well.
So this will be Canada's first smart hospital. And we are already working at our Mackenzie Richmond Hill Hospital with the technology, with the infrastructure. The Internet of Things does allow us to do a tremendous amount of connectivity, both within our health system, but also between our own health teams. So if you come to Mackenzie Health, your health record will be available regardless of which site you come to of our main hospitals or our 6 community locations. It also will help us facilitate communications with the other health centers across the region. We don't have it all connected yet, but that is our vision of the future.
That's where you're headed. So in other words, to interconnect all the clinical studies and all the clinical researchers into the facilities that you're building right here.
We would like to have that as a vision. It's beyond our mandate, but we're certainly setting it up for possibilities.
Wonderful. Ingrid Perry, thank you very much. It's just a little bit of an insight into what happens from a hospital research and delivery and services point of view, and engaging the community both for what they can do to make that happen and what they can do, hopefully not, when they need that services. But it's part of an ongoing circle. It's a circle of life, contribution, service, and delivery. So thank you very much, Ingrid.
Thanks.
It's wonderful. Wonderful of you to do this. Be back in a minute. So here I am again with His Worship, the Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua, and we just want to have, he said quite a few things, and all very positive, but we just wanted to get a little closer to one item that
Yes.
I think a lot of people miss. You're building, the city, you're building a state-of-the-art facility, but it requires, as I recollect, as part of the mandate from the province and the Ministry of Health, it requires a significant contribution from the community in order to kickstart. And what was the target that the province set out for you?
So we started, the target was set at $250 million.
That's 250.
Yeah, $250 million, and as of today, we've raised $120 million.
Now, that's a significant amount because you really didn't get started till about 2 years ago, as I recall.
Yeah, 2 years ago we started, but we had a great response from the community. As you know, we're very blessed to live in a very affluent community, but what's really the defining characteristic of our community is that we have a great spirit of generosity. And so individuals who've done well, who've worked very hard, who are fairly affluent have stepped up. But it's not just them. There's a real swell of support from individuals and organizations who, whether they're giving a dollar or $20 million, I really appreciate their effort because obviously, you know, you're giving what you can, and people have are stepping up every day. And you also have to remember that we've been waiting for a long, long time. We were one of the few municipalities with a population of 300,000 people that did not have a hospital. So there's a lot of enthusiasm around that. We've also been...
Let me interrupt you for a second. Sure. You know, when you're talking about a spirit of generosity and a lot of enthusiasm, Ingrid Perry just told us a moment or two ago that, like, she's impressed with the number of people who have stepped up to the plate. I pressed her a little bit. She said 2,000. 2,000 people and or corporations. Is that a good number for you?
That's a very good number. Obviously, we're going to need more to reach the 250 million. But as a start, there's reasons to be hopeful and optimistic about the progress we are making. And I have now the next goal is to reach around 107, short-term goal, and we're going to do it. I think that people are going to step up and make it happen.
Well, in 2 years or just a little bit less than that, you've got to 128, and you've got, what is it, another 122 to go.
Yeah, so we have 120, but we'll have around 130 million to go. But you know, it's there. You're going to have to work hard at it, and donations such as the one we saw today inspire other people to give, and slowly but surely, if you believe in realizing your dream, you'll make it happen. And this community, I really think, believes it. And you know, raising $120 million in any community is not easy. And this community has really stepped up, and I'm very proud of the citizens.
Joe Volpe, on behalf of Corriere Canadese and Go Live TV, once again with you, with two friends, two old-time friends. I've identified them. They both come from Palazzo San Gervasio a long time ago, and they've established a friendship that also goes to not only their businesses, but to contributions like today. So I'm going to turn over to Sam Primucci, who is the owner and founder of Pizza Nova. Some of you may know that because they've got the best pizza in town, bar none. And he's an old friend of Danny Montesano, but he's also accustomed, and his company's accustomed, to making contributions like the one that we saw today. Now, what do you think of your friend stepping up to the plate and making this contribution, Sam?
Well, I'm very proud to stand here beside Danny and coming to the plate and making a contribution to his community. It's so important. I came to Canada 51, and again, the people, the company. What you really have in mind that I went to school at St. Mary's on Adelaide and Bathurst, and the contribution that the community had made to me then, at 10 o'clock in the morning, we got a pint of milk with a cookie. And I couldn't believe I was a new Canadian. And that it started when I was really young, that making a contribution to the community is very, very important. And to stand beside my friend, Danny Montesano, today, that he's doing the exact same thing that those people did for me in the 50s. it's a very proud moment, and congratulations, Danny.
Now, you know, Sam's very humble, but so are you, Danny. This is a special moment. Like, here's a couple of guys who, way back home, would never have dreamt that the mayor of a very important city would open his office up to them so that they could make a contribution to a state-of-the-art hospital. How do you feel, Danny?
Today, I really feel good, and just want to thank you again, Mauricio, to allow us in his office to do this donation. And I want to thank you, Sam, too, because he's not only is my friend, but he's like my brother.
Or better, because I always fight with brothers.
And you too, Joe. So just I'm very proud just to be here and to do this small donation to our community. Thank you.
No, again, you guys are both a little too humble. You make me look bad, but I bet you there's a couple of women who will tell me the truth. What do you think? Should I call them?
I don't know. They're little, both of them are camera shy.
Yeah, but they're likely to tell me the truth about you guys.
I think off camera they will, but on camera maybe they won't.
Well, I like to thank you, my wife, because Madeline and Sam is right. She's my wife. She's very shy, and I want to thank you, even Gemma, because she's shy too. But you can try to interview them, but
you know what? I just want to say this about both of them, Danny's wife, Madeline, and my wife, Gemma. Without them behind us, we wouldn't be here today. There's always stakes too, and we need their support. And I can tell you that Madeline has been a very, very big support of Danny, and that's why Danny is standing right here today.
You guys are too good, but those two women both deserve the credit that you give them. Thank you very much. We're going to come back in a moment. So Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese back again. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to get some of the women who are part of these contributions. There will be no contributions to any hospital, any research in medicine, unless, in my estimation, I hope they don't get offended, unless the women say, yeah, that's where we're going. So some of you may recognize the individuals here. I want to say a word or two about them, and then if they want to add something, it's great. Okay, but immediately to my left is Lido. Some of you may remember her. She was the motivating force behind a fundraiser dedicated to a particular disease, the disease on lupus, research on lupus. Just a few, seems like only yesterday, but it's really about a month or two ago. Am I right? So this is Lido. What do you think about your friends making this contribution?
Amazing, because she's not doing it for herself, she's doing it for everybody. So we all going to be we are all part of the community, and we are very proud. We're very proud.
Okay, thank you. Alida, I'm going to ask the cameraman to just move slowly to my left for a moment, and then I'll say something about them. So, Madeline Montesano. Yep, Madeline, the mayor said you've known each other for 1,000,000 years, but that's not true. You and I met in 1981. In 19...
He was young.
I'm jealous. You like younger guys.
Yes.
Actually, it's quite a story.
He was finishing his university.
You met him after. Just agree with me. You met him after.
He's going to get points.
So, Madeline, you're the kind of the driving force behind Danny Montesano and Lido Construction. And so you're happy about this contribution, but it's not the first one you've made to Mackenzie Health.
Now we made another time.
You want people to make more?
Yes, I'd like the people to make more, yes. Especially small business. Instead of paying tax, give it to the hospital.
Good thought, good thought. And then immediately to your left is a longtime friend of yours as well, Gemma Primucci, who doesn't want to say anything to me, but she's upset with me, but she's sort of the the brains behind the Pizza Nova empire. Sam Pramucci's, there she is, look at it. Now she's pretending to be humble and shy. It's Gemma. Yeah, he said you wouldn't say anything. You know, he said, I hope she doesn't say anything. She's probably going to tell me good things about myself. So, but there you go. Gemma is also another one of these ladies who, through their husbands and on their own behalf, go and make these kinds of contributions, both to the study and research in illnesses and into the building of the infrastructure that houses the people that do the research and provide the delivery of service. So congratulations to you as well, Gemma. And immediately to her left is the Honorable Judy Grow, who has a different type of an approach to this. She's been a friend of the Montesanos, it seems like forever, but as she said a few minutes ago, you know, she's been around for a long time, and it's difficult to admit the time when you're less than 29 years old. So, you know, that doesn't mean she's lying, but she's been involved at the political level, especially at the federal level, in advocating for and promoting both research in the medical fields and in making contributions on the infrastructure side for hospitals and other delivery services like this one and others where I've met you in delivering services more immediately to those in need. Judy Grow, what do you think? We can't hear you from here, but you can at least wave and say, I agree.
Here in these three wonderful women who are just examples of the leadership that is helping to build our great country. So I'm very honored to be sitting here in this great company, and I want to continue to do that. And as Madeline said, let's encourage people to donate, write it off on your taxes. We make sure federally that we give you lots of opportunities.
That's good. We want to congratulate them, Danny and Madeline, to do this. Thank you, Madeline.
Okay, there you have it. I'm going to try to get some of the other people in here for a moment. Yeah, I'll get them. Okay, we'll be back in a couple of seconds. So here we are again, Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese. I'm still in the mayor's offices celebrating this great donation by the Montesano family, the duo, of $100,000 to Mackenzie Health Center. And I'm here with someone who used to be a councillor in this area and who is now the Member of Parliament for King Vaughan. Yeah. That's right. Okay, now, Deb Schulte, you know, I should call you honorable because that's what you are as long as you're in office, as I said, right? So Deb Schulte used to be, the Honorable Deb Schulte, used to be a member of this council. And as a member of this council, I think you were intimately aware of something that the mayor referred to, and that there were difficult times not that long ago about this hospital. It was a concept. Do you want to just go over that for a second?
I can share a little bit of that. Obviously, we've been having politicians talk about the hospital for a very long time, but it's a long process. And, you know, we've had, you have to have all levels, well, two levels of government. Definitely the city had to get the land, and to do that, we had to have the money to do that, and there was a tax levy put on, so the land was then purchased. But there was agreements that were made that was under a different understanding on how a hospital would go forward, and, you know, then that changed. And there was a dual model hospital proposed. That caused a lot of confusion. Because the community was not sure really whether this was going to move forward or not. There was a bit of a struggle with, you know, whether a dual model or a standalone model, and that caused, you know, misunderstandings and confusion. So
you're being a little too diplomatic, as befits somebody who's a parliamentary secretary and junior minister in the current government. I compliment you. There's a lot of agonizing and grief.
Well, let's just be clear. It was a vision, two visions, and, you know, one had to win. So there was a vision to go forward with a dual model, and we're very proud of the progress that's been made. The hospital's rising up out of the ground. Almost $20 million have been raised in the community. So putting all that behind us, it just shows the generosity, the support that's there, how important. It's a transformative piece of infrastructure for this community, and I'm really proud to have been on the council at the time that we sorted out that problem with the land and was able to have the hospital move forward. So,
congratulations to you. I know that most people forget what political individuals, people, persons, men and women, do for some of these things, especially once they're done and off the ground. I just want to tell you that Corriere Canadese did not forget that you were instrumental in getting this thing off the ground, and that as parliamentary secretary in the government, the federal government today, you're still advocating for funds for infrastructure development, continuity, for write-downs of technology required to make this thing function properly, and for research, medical science research. Compliments.
Thank you very much for pointing that out. I don't often talk about all the work that we are doing behind the scenes to try and support communities to get the kind of services that they need to build the communities that we deserve. So thank you very much for mentioning that.
No, it's not a problem. We're a really tough newspaper, but we also acknowledge
You're
good
very
things.
fair. Yes, you're very fair. Thank you very much, Joe. And thank you for your years of service. Because, often when you're out of politics, people forget about the work that you've done. But you've always been there, and then you've taken it on to make sure that you're an advocate for the community, especially the Italian community. So thank you.
You're too kind. Thank you very much. So Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese is saying goodbye to Deb Schulte. She's got lots of work to do, and we don't want to hold her back. We'll be back in a second. Okay, Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese back again, trying to get to speak with as many individuals as possible in this very important event. Contribution of $100,000 by Danny and Madeline Montesano through their company, Lido Construction, for this Mackenzie Health Center. It's not their first contribution, so we're kind of underestimating the amount that they've provided. But next to me is Francesco Sorbara, Member of Parliament for Vaughan Woodbridge. This hospital is in your riding.
Technically, it's actually in King Vaughan, but 100 meters away from my riding.
Yeah, so it's here. Like everybody thought that it was in your riding. So, but you've been involved with this from a policy point of view ever since you got elected.
Absolutely. We support healthcare in Canada. We support very high service levels for Canada and a delivery model that works for Canadian citizens. In the city of Vaughan, we're going to have a hospital built here. It'll be open up in about, 16 months or so, and it'll serve the 330,000 residents of Vaughan and the greater region. And it's a community-led effort. We're going to have to raise $250 million. We're almost halfway there. And it's people like Madeline and Danny Montesano stepping forward in whichever capacity they can, showing what we call as the real spirit of generosity that exists in the city.
Now, one of the ironies of everything is that this was a concept, and I mentioned to Deb Schulte, it was really a concept more than anything else because of, and litigious in some cases, but there was a happy convergence of agreements when you became Member of Parliament. Now, I know that members of Parliament want to think everything happens because of them, but the truth of the matter is you were instrumental in that too.
Well, what I'd like to say is the leadership that's shown by the mayor, former members of parliament, former members of provincial parliament, former councillors, former ministers in Ottawa for the development, whether it was the young subway line or the Spadina subway line coming up to Vaughan, or the development of the hospital. There are a lot of people that are instrumental for that. And if I've had a little bit of inkling of support there that I can put forward to and be proud of, then absolutely. But there are so many people involved.
Well, that's very nice of you to say that. So let's talk about something else where you don't have to be as diplomatic, and that's your friendship with Madeline and Danny.
You know what? Sometimes you say you're blessed in life, and the relationship and the friendship, the genuine friendship that Danny and myself and Madeline and myself and our family has developed with them is truly something, a blessing, and something I hold near and dear to my heart. When you enter into public service, you don't know the people that you'll meet, and they are probably the two most special people that I've met on this journey so far.
The third one would be your wife and your daughters, but they were there with you already.
Yes, well, my wife and my daughters, don't have to say any words for that because they're right behind me all the time. They're what keeps me going, allows me to do public service. But Danny and Madeline are just two special people that embody everything that's good about society, good about human nature, and good about life. And I just love them. They're just great.
All right, so Francesco Sorbara, Member of Parliament for Vaughan Woodbridge, just across the street. Thank you very much for coming to this event on behalf of the Montesanos, but also on behalf of public service and people who live as a result of your contributions. Thank you very much, and all the best to you in the upcoming election.
Thank you, Honourable Mr. Volpe. Thank you for what you do and what your organization does. Thank you.
All the best. Thank you. All right, Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese. the people you're looking at right now are the Honorable Judy Sgro and her husband Sam, and the mayor of Vaughan has just acknowledged 30 years of public service by Judy Sgro, both at the municipal level and at the federal level. And there he is. This is a foulard from Dion. Wow. That's not the former leader of her party. It's actually the House of Fashion. Congratulations. So here I am again, Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese. Just to wrap things up, some of the generosity of Pizza Nova and some of the friends who have put together just a little bit of a snack for everybody so that they could say thank you to the Montesanos for their big contribution. Pizza Nova is a great sponsor of community events and community services. And here you see them once again demonstrating their generosity, even for their friends. Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese and Go Live TV, thanking you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.